What up, though?
What up, though? Welcome to Unsolicited Advice. I'm your man, Kevin Johnson, here to give you just one man's opinion.
And I am nobody who is somebody, Penelope.
Oh, yeah. Here back again for another week. And guess what? We got something different for y'all. Because we know summertime is coming right around the corner. So you're going to want to have to get your little sip on. Boo-boo. So, you know what I'm saying? What, you got to toast it? Pinky fingers up. Now, this is not alcoholic as we get ready to touch the Bible. I don't want y'all to think that just because they in fancy glasses, this is, you know, an alcoholic drink. This is one of P's special drinks, so make sure you pay attention at the end of the episode and get her a little hookup, you know what I'm saying? But as we start each episode, we're going to go with the word. And today's scripture comes from the book of Mark, chapter 11, verse 24. Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. You gotta have that faith. Me and P gonna be doing unsolicited advice in how many states?
Every state.
50 of them.
And some countries too. But God, where my husband at though?
I mean, we're gonna claim one thing at a time. You know what I'm saying? You can't claim 7 things.
Where my $1 trillion at?
You claiming too much out here, man.
Did it say believe?
It did say believe. It said speaking, so maybe I don't know. Go ahead and speak it. Speak all three.
Yeah, so like I didn't win. I wanted to just say thank you to all the people who voted for me in the favorite chef competition. I made the top 15. I made the top 10, but when it was time for the top 5, unfortunately, I placed only 9th. So I did win. I wish I did.
But you did great though.
Yeah.
Top 10. You know what I'm saying?
I could have used that 50,000.
It's coming.
So either 500 y'all can send 100 or 100 y'all can send 500. I had the 50,000. I could still do the food truck, but you know I'm just putting it out there because it said believe, and I believe it.
We casted that out there.
Boom.
All right then. So in today's episode, we're gonna be talking about a major hot button that's been kind of going on in the media, and that's how transgender people are casted in sports. You know, do we allow them? You know, transgender people. So if a person born male decides that he's going to become a woman, do we then allow her to play in all female with women who are born women in their sports?
Now, I just want to give a disclaimer. This again is unsolicited advice. And I have friends who are transgender, so by no means do we want to associate any type of disrespect. We're just talking. And we are ignorant to the subject, and ignorance is a lack of knowledge. And if you have the knowledge, then please convey it to us. But know that we have no disrespect. We're just talking. But if it rubs you the wrong way, you know, please communicate with us.
Open up a dialogue. Yeah, we want to hear from you all.
Because right now this is unsolicited advice and we're just talking. So hope we don't ruffle no feathers. But my thing is, I know enough about sports, my limited knowledge, that there's a weight class, male. You will not have a 250-pound man fight somebody who's 175 pounds, vice versa. Same with females. So I guess the thing is that if a man transitions to a woman, it takes over 2 to 3 years for there to be a change. Like, you know, men are
biochemically, that is
right. They are 30-some% stronger than women. But the more that they're going through the transition and taking their medication, with their doctor and all that stuff, they did studies that within 3 years they noticed a drastic change. But also too, still, even with that drastic change to all the way from over 30% to like less than 12%, that when it finally goes all the way down, there's still maybe a 3 to 5% advantage, because that is their structure, how they was, you know, born.
Right.
I guess the confusion is there are some women I feel like a man is a man, no matter what he is, he's strong. Like I noticed that with my son. Like, I used to be able to pick up my son, do certain things. But at a certain point, once he got like 13, 14, I was like, whoa, I literally had to put my back into it. Like, I've never did stuff with my kids where I had to really use my full strength because I'm not trying to hurt them, even when I was disciplining them. But I noticed this, with no effort whatsoever, I was struggling.
Yeah.
And I felt my back engaged, and I was just like, okay, you getting strong, boy, you getting strong.
And you said what?
So 13? Like 13,
14?
And he wasn't a man or whatever. He is strong. So, and he's a little petite thing. I'm bigger than him. Yeah. So I can sit on him. But I think he can handle it, and his arms wrap around me like he got these long arms. His hand, this is my baby, but his hands is bigger than mine.
Yeah, because it's also just physical differences. Like I think it was like maybe
he's 19 now.
Maybe 10 years back when the young lady transitioned, and actually she wasn't young. She was like 50 years old. She was like 6'8", playing with women in the college league, and clearly she's getting all the rebounds because she's killing these. She's towering a foot over, plus longer limbs because men usually have longer limbs as well. Now, of course, there are some women who are, I'm sure, in the WNBA would give her that work. You know what I'm saying? But just on the average, there are going to be more men who are just physically more dominant. Just like there's a transgender wrestler who's wrestling in the female class, and that's.
But they really let the transgender.
I mean, because right now there are some states who don't. There's no litigation for it. I mean, the idea of transgender being so open and free is a very new concept. It's not that they weren't transgender back then, 10, 15 years ago. It's just that right now it's just more. I mean, after Caitlyn Jenner won Woman of the Year, being transgender, I mean, it's in that spotlight now, where it's a part of life. And so, I mean, I can tell you, there's a comedian friend of mine named Wayne Robinson. He has a joke, and it's kind of the way I look at things. Like, we have, in Michigan, we have Clarissa Fields, who's an amazing boxer. Undisputed female champion, pound for pound, the best fighter. Now, if she becomes a man, decides she wants to become Clarence Fields, I'm sure she would do well in the male-dominated field, fighting against men. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure she would do well. She may not win all of them. She may not even be an undisputed champion the way she is right now, but she would do well. But I do see it as being unfair if someone like Mike Tyson decides that he wants to become a female. Because regardless of what females in that 250-pound weight class, I don't care how much estrogen Mike Tyson takes, she would then dominate. And that's the problem, because it's like, how do you regulate that?
Yeah, because I would be scared of Mike Tyson. Excuse me. If he, dressing up.
It's a once again, we're at a point in time in history where this is not something that's been an issue before. I mean, I guess maybe it has been an issue before, but now the litigation is getting involved because it's a big topic for presidential candidates and whatnot. So, I mean, I just feel like, because when you said that about the over time, 2 to 3 years, does that mean that if a man's becoming a woman, they would have to wait then 3 years in order to compete with other women? That's where the regulations come in, and
because you're saying the advantage, like you're talking about
the physical advantage,
a 30%. So a woman's 12%
muscle mass, yeah.
And so the main thing is when a person is transitioning into being a woman is to suppress the testosterone. We all have testosterone in us, but it's the levels. It's just like when we develop, we start off as a female, but more testosterone is put in the baby to develop the male, and then there's situations where there have been women and they were, born with their parts, and they find out they have testy cancer, and it's like, I don't have no testes. I'm a female. But somehow something, started to develop, but they got everything. They never noticed, and then they question themselves, did they have an advantage in sports? And then you have a situation too where somebody say the perfect woman is a man. That this woman is beautiful, a model, and all this stuff, and her body is attacking each other, and they don't understand what's going on, and it's like because she has male hormones. Right. So, and the body was fighting against that. So, like I said, this is just something that's being out here talked about. We're just talking. Yeah,
we honestly can't give you, there's no right or wrong, but we really want to hear what you have to say on this subject.
Especially if you are trans, gender, what is it for you, and how do you feel about it? Do you notice a difference? If you're a male transitioning as a woman, do you still feel like you're strong, this, that, and the other? And if you are a female transitioning to a male, do you feel like you still lack that strength? That, now because you are a male now, that everybody is expecting you to be able to pick this up and pick that up. Do you feel like, there's a handicap there that you don't think you will ever, get to that 30% or 40%, whatever, strength? So that's a good question.
So if you can, just light up our comment box. Let us know what you're thinking. And, we'll be sure to respond. Keep the conversation going. So for this week, that's it. My name is Kevin, giving you just one man's opinion.
And I'm nobody who's somebody. Penelope.
Y'all be blessed.